Oh, hang on. I don't have my chat again. There we are. Hello, guys. How you doing? Just a couple seconds late. I was out busy. Not out. I was just around here. I was doing things. And then I looked at the clock and it said 2:59. Like, oh shit. And hello. Welcome to Rex Tech Pub. It's another lovely day. Even though right now I don't know what day it is. And I guess it's a Tuesday. Oh. Hello, Charlie. How you doing today, Charlie? Let's see who else is here. Tony, Jeff, RM. Good afternoon. I'm feeling maybe a little bit better today. Didn't have such a rough night last night. Was, I slept okay. I wouldn't say I slept the best, but I did sleep a little bit better than I did the night before. So, yeah, like I said, I'm doing better, little by little. Yeah, I was told this morning. Well, yes, late morning that my mom called and she said, "Well, if you want to try go out biking, go out to Holiday and back, and see how you feel after that." I don't think she really. I don't. She didn't mean for me to stay home, but she just wants me to take it easy. So yeah, I did all right. It wasn't too bad. Oh. But that's all I've been doing today. It's just pretty much nothing. Oh, just to touch a little bit on the what I was talking about with that Windows fixing itself. It's all they're doing for 24H2 and 25H2 is they're just launching quick machine recovery. It has to do with that catastrophe from last year when Cloudflare had a flawed update that wiped out 8.5 million computers. It was a driver of some kind that just decided to go wonky, and it was for the health industry, the airlines, and quite a few industries that the Cloudflare works with, amongst others. But they had a flawed. I remember it happening, and when I heard about that 8.5 million industry computers or whatever getting wiped out, I kind of looked at myself. I looked over and I said, "Gee, Microsoft, how are you going to fix that problem?" Well, a little over a year and a half later. Well, not a year and a half. It's about a year and 2 3 months. This is how they're fixing it. They're just going to launch the quick machine recovery. That's all I know about that. So it really wasn't what I was thinking it was. Well, I wasn't thinking that either. I was just it's uh it's a startup thing, so that if your computer blue screens, it now has the ability to. I don't know. I haven't exactly studied up on all of it yet, but I'm working on it. But that's just a startup recovery thing, is all it is. So if it crashes, the QMR, quick machine recovery, will kick in and recover it somehow. All the result of that Cloudflare, CloudStrike, whatever problem they had a little over a year ago. So they just said, like I said, I was wondering back then how they were going to fix it. Well, this is what they did today, or for 24H2 and 25H2. They're going to add in a little thing called quick machine recovery. And that's pretty much all I know on that. At least that's what I've heard. So that's what the rumors on YouTube are saying. That's what it's going to be. So, Yeah, that's all I know today. Oh, Ingor, hello. I know I'm butchering your name, so I don't mean to. I'm just not good at names like that I haven't seen before. Sorry, I will miss today's. I broke a tooth on. Ouch! Oh, Jeff. Yeah, you go get that broken tooth taken care of. That. Ow. I remember when I did that 5, 6 years ago. This tooth right here that's missing. I snapped that tooth right in half. I was eating an ice cream cone and having them little sprinkles of nuts on it. Well, I clamped down on one of those nuts and it snapped that tooth right in half. Oh! I clamped down on it and I heard this loud pop in my mouth, like, oh, what the hell is that? Like, I look up and I'm just starting to blood coming out of my mouth, like, oh shit, what did I do? And I went out like, ah, snapped the tooth in half. Mm, not fun. The next morning, I was down in Pillager getting that tooth taken out, which I could have done myself. But he said, "No, you're going to take the chance of infection, and he said it's better if you come down here and I take it out." He did, but it's the result of rotting teeth. When you snap a tooth in half, there's usually below the gum line or somewhere in your tooth, especially with mine. Just eating a little uh, corner of a nut, peanuts that they sprinkle all over the ice cream or whatever. And I clamped down on that and it snapped that tooth right in half. Like, oh, that's not a pop in your mouth you want to hear. That wasn't fun. And I was downstairs on second when that happened. So when I kind of started complaining, I got immediate help. I had like 5 or 6 people looking at me like, open your mouth. And they looked at it and said, yeah, it looks like you cracked a tooth. Well, yeah, I cracked something because it hurts like hell. Someone gave me a bag of ice and like put it over my mouth all day and all night. Oh, that was not fun. Mm. Haven't done it since. I hope I never do that again. That wasn't fun. So yeah, Jeff, get that tooth taken care of. It's not something you want to leave in your mouth because, as the dentist told me, it can go from bad to worse if you leave that in there. Which is why the next morning I was scrambling to call a dentist. And the closest one I could find that would do anything that day was 9 miles east of here in Pillager. I called them. They said, "Yeah, if you can find a way down here, I'll pull it." Okay. So I called the taxi. I said, "Run me out to Pillager." They did. Yeah. Yeah, usually with a tooth that's cracked in half, they'll usually pull it. There's usually no fixing it. Because I asked him, he said, "Can't you just kind of glue it back together or rubber band it or something?" He said, "No. I got to pull it." Like, okay. Because otherwise, because it went down to the root and it had already started killing the root. And he said, "You don't want that staying in there." So out it came. That's a weird feeling when a root comes out of your mouth from up there. Oh my God. It's like, oh. But he said, it's normal. He said, I'm not doing anything I shouldn't, but it sounds kind of funky when the root gets pulled out of its place. And it felt uncomfortable. Even though he had me loaded full of Novocaine or whatever it was. By the way, guys, if you want something that's good to drink and kind of, I don't know, kind of good for you, but not really. Well, it is. It's got antioxidants, and go get some sparkling ice. It's my new thing that I drink because I can't have pop anymore. I mean, well, I can, but not really supposed to because it does bad things to my teeth. And the dentist was asking me a lot last time I saw him. He said, "You really need to consider quitting drinking the Mountain Dew and the Pepsi and the whatever because it's not doing your teeth any good." Yeah, I'll think about it. So July 2nd of this year, I quit. And then I switched over to sparkling ice, and they've got a whole different flavor, a whole bunch of different flavors. They seem to do okay. Oh, it was brittle because of a root canal last year. Oh, okay. That would explain it. I didn't read the whole message, and then I was reading, like, what does the rest of that say? No. Okay. The brittle root canal he had done last year. Yeah, that can screw things up. But yeah, I'm feeling a little sore down here, but yeah, day by day, little by little, I'm starting to get better. So I can guarantee, positively tell you that on the start of the third week, this is the second week, so all of next week, next Friday, I should be able to tell you I'm. It takes about a full month to get out of this, so probably on the 20th of this month, and I go down to the cities on the 23rd. So I'm hoping by the 15th or 18th, this is all okay because I have to lay on my belly, and I don't want to lay on this surgery right now. I tried it last night. I rolled over and flip right back over. It's like, nope, can't lay on my stomach yet. Nope. The second I did that, I flipped right back over. It's like, nope, can't do it, not yet. Ouch, that hurt. Ooh, but I'm doing all right. It's a slow recovery, and for some people it is, but a full recovery is usually 3.5 to 4 weeks. Oh, so I don't know. Was kind of working on OBS and a couple other things yesterday with with Ken and them guys, and I don't know where they are today. No Ken. There's not a lot of people here today, so I guess Charlie. I guess it's just you and me, because looks like there's no one else here, unless Robert's still here, Tony, if you're still here, but or I'm just talking to myself. Which, if that's the case, this is going to be a very short live stream because I don't like talking to myself or talking where I'm not being heard. It's a little breezy out there. We got sunny skies and it's a little warm. It's humid out there, is what it is. So I went to holiday today and like, ooh, a little humid today. Not bad, but a little humid. So I don't know if I can show you guys. Hey, John. Yeah, I haven't heard from Ken yet either today. I haven't been on Zoom yet today, which after this live stream I will be. I'll jump over there for a little bit and see what they're doing. And there's that. It's one of the things I made. Turn that off. I'm still trying to get used to this thing. If I click on the wrong thing here in my sources, it there is how may I help you with. Where's my image? There. Oh, I don't like that. No, 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 no. That's not gonna work. No, 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 no. Don't like no. Oh my gosh. Do we have a color source? There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. That's my new latest thing that I They've got. I got to work on it a little bit, but at least I am marching forward with it and not just doing nothing. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't know. I might redo the background color, do a couple of things, but that's generally what I'm gonna have going before the live stream starts. Or just oh no, not that one. No, no, not that one. No, not that one. Ah, where the color source? And we do. There we go. At bottom right. I need to do something with this. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. I need to change that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because it's every day except Saturdays. Which I don't know. I might do that today on Zoom. Give me something to do. No, John, I heard you got a couple of computers over the weekend. Did you go pick up a few, or did you get a few, or I don't know if I got the story straight, but I heard something about you doing with computers this weekend, or about for Labor Day. I don't know if you got a few computers or if someone gave you. I didn't quite get the story straight in my head, but I think you went and picked up a few computers. If I'm understanding that correctly. Which is something I'd kind of like to start to get into, but it's a little bit more expensive up here to do that. I'm sure you went and probably just picked them up for a low price up here for a computer that's I don't know 4 or 5 years old. They're still gonna want $200 for it, even though it's pretty much junk. You can't use it because it's 7 or 8 years old. They'll want $200 for it. And it's like, no, I can't do that for not for e-waste. I won't. But around here, they just won't let you. They just won't give it to you for nothing. They won't give you anything around here for nothing. You want something, you're gonna have to pay for it. The thing about things being free around here, that doesn't happen. You want to pick up an old computer that's 6, 7 years old? I want you to at least pay $100 for it. And I won't do that. I just don't think it's worth it. But they want their money out of it. They say, I just can't give it to you for free. I talked to a lady on the phone the other day. She's got two computers, but she said, I just can't give them to you. I'd want at least 80 some dollars. Like, no, I can't do that. And I told her I don't know too many people that are just gonna pick up something that old, that broke. When you're wanting to pay $80 for it, not too many people around here are gonna do that. So then who do I give it to? Well, there's your words. You're supposed to give it to somebody. You're wanting me to pay for it. Make up your mind. Think, well, okay, she said I misworded it. Who can I give it to that'll pay for it? Nobody. Not here in Trolling County. So she doesn't know what she's gonna do. She wants money for it. And so you're not gonna get the money for it. Not that much. Recyclable price, yes, but not $80, $90 for the stupid thing. That's not gonna happen. And I got called this morning, and I was just kind of somewhat asleep. And someone asked me if I can dispose of a server rack, or at least take the server racks out of the closet thing and kind of stack them, and someone else come pick them up. And I said, I really can't. I just had hernia surgery 2 weeks ago. Like, oh, okay, sorry. And I said, try calling Bob, see if he'll do it, but good luck with getting him. Good luck with getting along with him. And he said, yeah, I've dealt with him a couple times. That's why I'm calling you, because I don't want to deal with him. But he might have to. Mm. So they just wanted to get yeah, or things around here that just want to get rid of. There's a price tag behind it. Unfortunately, I hate people that do that. It's something that old, something that broken, and they're still wanting to try to pull money out of your pocket. I just it doesn't make any sense to me. Something that's that old, and they say, well, it's still got some value. Can't I get 60, $70 for it? It's like, no. I've never gotten into any arguments with anybody. They just kind of look at me kind of funny and just we have a staring contest for about 2 minutes, and he just looks at me and says, "Okay, whatever." Gets back in his truck and he leaves. I just I'd like to get into it. I've got the trailer for it. I can go pick him up, but I ain't got the cash to go get him. Even for old car tires, where you think it just is free to throw them away or drop them off at a car center place. Um, no, they have normal business hours, and for disposal, they've got a price tag behind that. I can't remember what that other guy from. Wow. Um, third floor, he told me he got rid of three tires, and I think he paid 30 some dollars for it, or 20 something with tax. It was 3104 or something like that. Yeah, yes, sir. Oh no, let's not get onto that subject. The Windows update that supposedly is breaking SSDs. I there's got to be a lot more research done on that. Jay's 2 cents. I think, I like Kerry said, there was not enough testing there. There's not enough information. And now I hear Brightech has gotten onto the bandwagon, and he's saying that this Linux update is going to break your SSD. Yeah, I think he said not really that won't, but he said he thinks it takes some looking into. And I'm thinking, why? There's nothing wrong really. It hasn't affected me. It's affecting certain computers that are doing certain things that I don't do. So I avoided the whole issue. And there's certain brands of SSDs, and I can't remember the name that the chip that's on the memory. I can't remember that name, but there's certain brands that are having issues with that. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are just blowing it out of proportion. I think they need to do a little bit more detailed work into it and kind of. I would have loved to have seen. Well, I think, like Carrier said, it's overheating the SSD. I don't know how many of you guys here, Charlie. I don't know about. I don't know if you do, but are you a member on Carrier's channel? Did you watch his yesterday's video on that SSD overheating thing that he supposedly made overheat? And well, yeah, any SSD that overheats like that is going to slow down, and it gets bad enough. Yeah, it might crash, it might blue screen, but yeah, I think the whole thing is just blown out of proportion. People really need to keep their mouth shut before they talk. And I'm not trying to downgrade Jay's 2 cents or Bright Tech, but I mean, man, guy, come on, guys. Do your homework before you talk. And that's why I didn't say anything about it until now. But I'm just recycling what's already been said. So if you want to hear what they're saying, go watch Jay's 2 cents. Go listen to Bright Tech, but don't put your heart into it. It's a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of things I don't think they understood. Like Terry said, there's misinformation out there about it. So I haven't had any issues, and I don't think I will. It's just Certain people have got to make a certain issue out of nothing. And I think that's what they're doing. They're making a mountain out of a molehill. And it's really not necessary. That's my thoughts on it. Oh yes, the fission controller. Thank you. I knew it was starting something like that. I couldn't quite put my finger on the name. But yeah, the fission controller, Fijon or whatever you call it. It's just yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's a small situation that got blown out of proportion. That's all it is. A lot of misinformation, not enough due diligence in doing testing. There's not enough people talking to each other. It's like, what's your thought on this? This is what's happening. I'm not saying they're all wrong. Like Kerry's saying, it's Jay's 2 cents wasn't. He just, yeah. The information he gave out should have been a little bit more thoroughly thought of. And maybe he should have done some testing, showing the test results of the test he did, not what somebody else did. Um, and then Brightech, I don't know why he's getting Brightech. I don't know. I have my thoughts about that guy, but I mean they're all good thoughts. But I'm thinking, Brightech, are you just repeating what you're hearing? Or is this something that you're going off the top of your head? Something that you actually have done? Something you've actually tested over and over and over and over, and then in written paper showing the entire world what your results were? I did test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, and here's the results. Nobody's doing that. So, in my opinion, how can I believe what is being said? Well, I mean, Jay's 2 cents kind of did a little bit, but I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, and I'm not gonna really want to say anything because I don't want those people getting a hold of me saying, "Hey, I heard you say something about me." I'm just saying what. Well, I'm trying to repeat what they said, but it's not exactly clearly written. So what time is it here? 2:28. So there's a lot of things that are. I think we'll hear the end result story of that here pretty soon. But I don't know. I'm starting to hear more and more people talk about that. I'm in my mind. I'm thinking, yeah, why? You're just recycling dirty laundry. This is something that was talked about 3 or 4 days ago, and now you're coming out saying in a different version, in a different way, but they're all pretty much saying the same thing without doing their research, their tests, and showing the world their test results of the tests they did. I don't see anybody doing that. I don't think Kerry's seeing anybody do it. So it's kind of all up in the air right now. Until Fission or Vison says something themselves, or other controller companies for the NVMEs, until they start coming out themselves saying that they've done their own testing in-house and are actually seeing this being a problem and that they need to make some adjustments to it. But I'm not hearing anybody saying that, so just be careful what you hear on YouTube. There's a lot of stories going around, and I think we haven't gotten to the true core uh, situation yet. Nobody really knows exactly what's causing what, if it's causing it. So until somebody does testing the way it's supposed to be done and showing the world, this is what happens when I do this, this is when it overheats when I do this. And I think Jay was saying he was playing some game and all of a sudden it just went haywire on him. Like, um, yeah, but how? Okay, that's kind of where my mind went. Is it kind of got stuck because I was like, yeah, but I'm not seeing any. You know, it'll work itself out eventually. I don't think there's enough evidence in the pudding to prove that that's exactly what the problem is. So I am not saying there isn't a problem. I just need somebody to come out with the truth with testing and show it on a piece of paper or show it on their computer screen. This is test 1, test 2, test 3, and this is the result of all of them, showing the temperature of the SSD or NVMe getting up to 100 degrees or 90 degrees or whatever. Nobody's done that. All so far, all I'm hearing is a bunch of except for Jay's 2 cents. He may have done a little bit, but everybody's just talking and not wanting to put the work into testing it to show the world, hey, this is what's happening, this is why it's happening, and this is what I did to fix it. So, like Harry said, if you don't do that, you don't do the testing, you're not doing the due diligence and telling everybody the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you're leaving us hanging because in my head, I'm not seeing what you did to prove this, to prove to us that that's how you got those results. So, as far as Kerry's concerned, he is right about that. People need to do testing over and over and over, and then have it. You got to show the world. You got to say, this is what I did to get this to happen, and this is what I did to fix that problem. I don't see anybody doing that, so until I see actual testing, which I think Terry is probably going to be about the only one to do it, if he does. Oh, it's another story that's going to bury itself in the sand. We won't hear about it again. So people are going to talk about it for a few days, and then they'll go on to something different. It's how the news media and YouTube is. They talk all the hype, and then all of a sudden they just drop it like a hot potato. It's like, well, yeah, what about that subject you were talking about last week? What about it? Like, aren't you going to finish the rest of the story? I did. That's all there is to say. Like, not to me, there isn't. You should have said and done a lot more, but whatever. I just, Terry kind of opened my eyes to that people, if they're going to say things like that they got to have the proof in the pudding. And nobody so far is doing that. Like Carrie said, it's easy to overheat a SSD or an NVMe, but what are the test results that you did that got it there? Nobody's doing that. I'm kind of disregarding the whole thing. I'm just hearing it. I'm just hearing it as hearsay. They're saying one thing, but I'm not seeing any evidence of it. All I'm hearing so far is just a bunch of people talking. But no one's wanting to put the work into testing it and saying, this is my test results, and this is what happens when I did this, and this is how I went and fixed it, and they're going to show that how they did it. And so far, nobody's doing it. So until that happens, I'm just kind of putting that story off on the wayside. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's just a story without a lot of evidence behind it. When you talk a story like that or tell a story like that, and you've got the world listening to you, you better have your facts in order. And it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and show the world what your test results are or why you are saying that. And the whole thing that I've already been saying for the last 5 minutes is just, you gotta test the theory, and you can't just test it once or twice. You just gotta do it over and over and over and over and over. And then after so many times, you get the same results or similar same results. Then you can kind of see this is test 1. Then you got test 2. You do it over and over and over. You got test 2, test 3. Then you gotta show your results, and I don't see that happening. So It's a story. I'm just kind of saying, yeah, whatever. If it's happening, it's happening. It's not involving me, so I didn't like that Fijon thing. their their update thing and the drives and it goes with a lot of things that when people say things like that or do things say they say that this happened, that it blue screened or their computer shut off or their NVMe overheated. Well, I'd like to see the evidence in the pudding. What caused it to do that? I want to see you tell me how you did that. They got it to overheat. I don't see anybody doing that. So I'm just kind of taking that story, saying, yeah, whatever. Until I see the evidence of their testing results, I'm not really wanting to believe anybody. And so far, I ain't seeing anything. So that's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I'm starting to see school buses. And it's almost 3 o'clock, so yeah, that's that's kind of what I'm saying. Is you got to do your research, do your testing, do your thorough testing, and then you get to show the results of those tests. I don't see a lot of people doing that, so I don't mean any disrespect to Jay's Two Sins, Brytech, Kerry Holzman. Kerry Holzman is about the only one I'd say would come close to any doing any testing on any of this because he did it in yesterday's video, which I missed because I'm not a member. But so far, he's the only one that I think has come close to doing any kind of testing and showing you what happens to an SSD when it overheats and if he got the same results that Jay's Two Cents and other people are talking about. It'd be kind of interesting to see how that all worked out, but I'm not a member of his members only on Mondays. Yeah, I've got I've never had an A data. Now that I say it, I'm gonna chew on my tongue because yes, I do. I've got one A data. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. I don't think I do, but I think maybe I do. Yeah, I do. One A data. I thought I had one, but I don't have any NVMe's. That's the other thing I need to start collecting is NVMe's. 1 terabyte, 5 gigabyte, 500 gigabyte, 1 terabyte. I need to start collecting NVMe's because people are wanting to buy them from me. So you got a 500 gig NVMe? It's like, no. You got a 1 terabyte Samsung? No. Do you have anything? No. I need to stock up again. Because all the stuff I had, I sold. I'd like to keep at least a few of those around so that if someone wants one or needs one or whatever, heck, even if I want to do my own testing on certain things, I need to get a few new. I need to get a few NVMe's. Yeah, it's just they're saying it's an update that is causing it, but I kind of doubt that. I don't know. There's a lot of ifs and whats and They're trying to blame it on an update. I think is what they're saying, and the update is now overheating SSDs. Uh, I'd like that proven before somebody says that. I don't see how the hell an update from Windows can cause that kind of problem. I just don't see it. Apparently they can because they said it's happened, but I need to see it happen. But I don't know. It's water under the bridge for me because I'm not going to spend my time worrying about it because it's not really affecting me. And even if it did, I'd find some way of showing you guys how it's happening and showing you the evident proof that it is happening instead of just talking about it and not showing any evidence of that happening. It's just kind of bothersome. People say this happened, but they just talk about it, and it's like, well, you're saying that happened, but I need to see it happen to believe it. Well, can't you take my word for it? No. Boy, do I piss off a lot of people doing that. Yeah, you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk. You better show me how it works. Otherwise, it's gonna go one ear and right out the other. Think, yeah, nah, 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 nah. I'm not hearing anything because I'm not seeing anything. Oh. I guess the final note on that is people need to be a little bit more thorough on what they're doing. If they're going to say it, then you need to show it. If they're going to show it, then you need to show their test results. And to be really thorough, I'd like to see them doing the testing that they're doing. And instead of just saying they did the testing and we see the test results on a screen, I'd like to see what their testing process is. Not that I'd be able to do any better. I know nothing about testing that kind of stuff, but if they claim they know how to do it, I'd like to see it. That's all. And that's kind of like I said before, and I'll say it again, that's kind of what Kerry's point was. They talk about it, but they don't show it. So. What are the Gen 3? I don't know. I haven't gone out NVMe pricing yet. I got. Man, why am I yawning? It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I got all four Gen 4 drives. I have a few Gen 3s around here, but I don't know where they are at the moment. Those oh, God dang it! Why is tiredness hitting me all of a sudden? I need to yeah, I need to order some NVMe's, which I need to talk to a few people about that, see if I can do it. I mean, I got almost everything else. Just need to get a few more things like SSDs, NVMe's. Need to get a few more fans. Um, just the small stuff, not the expensive stuff, like $200, $300 motherboards. I'm not gonna have those sitting around here taking up room. I usually order those as they're needed. And right now they're not needed, so I ain't ordering anything. All their video and yeah, that's true, John. They don't, and they should, but they don't. Yeah, I don't have any Macs or anything. Yeah, as I said earlier, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, or a month ago, I'd like to get a test machine just for Linux and not run it. Oh, I gotta get outside. I gotta do some biking or something. This is ridiculous. But I'd like to do a little testing on Linux just to see how. I don't know. I might start my coding on that programming. Might do that in Linux when I figure out how. I have no idea how to do that yet, so I'm gonna start off with the basics and work my way up the ladder. But I don't know what kind of machine I can do that on. Or no, I don't think I'll do that. I got a Gen 4 motherboard up in the computer or in the closet. It's a fourth gen. I don't think I'll use that one. Although just for coding and programming, I probably could. I don't know. Trying to think about that. But someday that's what I'd like to get into. Is just on a lazy, rainy day and it's raining outside and I've got nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just get into programming. Little bits of programming. I'm not gonna do pages and pages and pages. That's not gonna happen. But little bits here and there I'd like to get into. I'd like to make my own program so I don't have to rely on other people buying their programs like the Netflix, whatever you call it, that Kerry has. He got that from some company, and I forget the name of the company, but I just like to make my own stuff. Not that anybody's else's is bad, but I don't know. I just like to have my own. But I have no idea how to do that kind of stuff, so I'm not gonna bother. I need to get that network fix or whatever it is, net fix, that Carrie has, but that's got a price tag behind it. And that's the other thing I got to call about this morning. My mom called and wanted to kind of review what's going through my bank account. And she said, "What's this? And what's this online something from somebody? Oh, I just did a donation to somebody's channel." He said, "To whose? Like, that's none of your business." And she's kind of just telling me she doesn't want me to do that. Because she doesn't know who the person is. She doesn't exactly know where that money went. So she kind of said the as I call it, giving people on money on their live chats. She doesn't want me to do that. She doesn't know who the person is. She doesn't exactly would know where that money is. Sure, there is a receipt that you get from it on Google, but that isn't telling her anything. It just says Google for a super chat. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand it, and if she doesn't understand it, she doesn't want me doing it. And I tried explaining it to her, but try explaining that to someone that's 82 years old. It doesn't go over well. I tried telling her, and she says, "I don't understand this, Rick, so I don't think you should be doing it. I don't do this kind of thing, so why are you? So why do I have to rely my life on everything you do?" Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that because the words that came out of her mouth weren't too pretty, so I'll get away with it every once in a while, but an everyday thing or a once a month thing, she looks at my accounts and it's like, "Where's this money come from? Where's that going? And who's this?" Like, so I have to explain everything to her. But in the end, it all works out, and I eventually get what I want to get. Hello, Ken. I was wondering if you're gonna make it in here before the top of the hour. Well, you barely made it, but hello. Hope you're having a good day. Yes, that's D7XT. Yeah, I knew it was D something. I couldn't remember the rest of it. I got a bad memory. I can't remember stuff like that. But yeah, John, that's who it is. I think it's for Carrie. It's like $10 for that network fix or something. And that kind of bombed out when I told her about it. It's just a tool that I'm going to use to fix the network issues I have. And she said, no, I don't think you need to be doing that. It's like, doing the network fix or spending the $10. She said spending the $10. That just sounds like nonsense to me. Like, well, it's not nonsense, but whatever. She does this to her friends too, not just me. She does it to her friends. I've been with her when she's with her friends, and she's telling them they shouldn't be spending the money they're spending. It's not necessary. You don't need to do that. It's like, really? Mom, shut up. But anyhow, um, yeah, like I said earlier, at the beginning of the live stream, I did go out biking a little bit today. Because my mom called me and she did say if you do want to try going out biking, I don't think it'll hurt, but I don't know. So I tracked it. I went down to Holiday. And, I'm not feeling any worse than I was before, so I'm gonna try it maybe once a day for a while and just get out once a day for a little bit, and then just maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Kind of get back into it slowly. Yeah, I'm not gonna go out tomorrow and do 90 miles. That's no, that won't work. I'll be in the hospital again if I do 90 miles in one day after 2 weeks after surgery. Not a good idea. So I'm gonna slowly ease into it. Why is that? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I need to fix that. The live stream Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's Monday through Friday. I skip Saturday and then I have another live stream on Sunday. So 6 days a week. The only day I don't have a live stream is Saturday. And that's because the worlds don't align properly for me because Saturday there's two other people I watch on their live stream when one of them starts at 1 o'clock. It goes till 3. Well, if I start mine at 2, yeah, it won't work. So I just took Saturdays off. Mm. Oh, Ken, sorry to hear you've been sick all day. That's no fun. I wonder how you caught that. Because you seemed to be doing okay last night. And today you just kind of went downhill. Well, I hope you feel better. And hope whatever you've got doesn't get worse. But the surgeon actually called me to see how I was doing. Yeah, there are doctors that will do that. My doctor in the cities that does the injections, he'll actually call me to see how I'm doing. There's not too many doctors that do that. Most of them just once you walk out that door, you're unheard of. But there are some like Dr. Jewison in the cities. He'll actually call me. In fact, I go down to the cities on the 23rd for my epidural injection. Um, at 1 o'clock. So there's something to keep on your guys' schedule and radar. That 22nd, 23rd, and probably the 24th. There'll be no live stream for me because I'll be down in the cities. Hopefully, I'll be able to lay on my stomach by then. Like I said last night, I rolled over into my stomach. A half second later, I was rolling right back over. Like, nope, not ready for that yet. It's a little too tender down here. It's getting better, but not quite. Then give it another week, and I'll be able to lay on my stomach for at least At least long enough, I hope, to get that injection done. So I have to lay on my stomach, and I'll have to tell the guy, make it quick, make it fast, because I can't lay on this for too long. You got maybe 10 minutes, so make it quick. Then I'll tell Jewison, because Jewison isn't one that does the injection, he's just the one that orders it. Um, but I'll write in my chart telling Jewison to tell the guy that does the injection to kind of make it quick, because I can't lay on this for more than like 5-10 minutes. So I get in there, get it done. I gotta get out of there because, like I said, I laid on my stomach last night and I immediately flipped right back over. So I'm not quite ready to lay on my stomach yet. Maybe in a week or two, but not yet. You need to cook your food, not just sushi from the fish tank. Ouch. Ow. That's the other thing I can't do yet. I can't get into full belly laugh because if I do, it hurts. As you just saw, I had to kind of stop myself from laughing. I can laugh for a little bit, but then after a couple seconds, I feel it down here. It feels like razor blades going through my intestines and just slashing. It just ouch. Ow, ow. That was one of them right there. Just like that, it relaxes and it's over with. Just a few seconds of sharp pain and it's gone. But and it too is getting better. And before I couldn't laugh at all because the second I start laughing, I'd have to stop because it would sting right away. Now, as you saw, I was laughing there for a couple seconds and then I had to stop. So it is getting better, but not quite. Not quite ready for laughing for 10 minutes straight. I'm not ready for that yet, but I can giggle a little bit here and there, but not for too long because I start putting pressure on the hernia or on the surgery, on the incision. I start putting pressure on that when I laugh, and then it just kind of fights back. I'm like, ow! And that's the end of it. It tells me to stop right then and there. And boy, does it tell me to stop in the most rudest ways. Like I said, it feels like someone's taking a razor blade and just slashing and just ow. Very sharp, intense pain. And then it goes away. So eventually that too will go away and I'll be back to normal and doing whatever. But for right now, laughing, I can do a little bit of it, not a lot. Yeah, Head Stash, you need to watch his live streams at, oh, here we go with the time zones again. And I'll have Ken do the time zones for you. He'll tell you what time. But yeah, if you want to get into his live streams, you have to watch his show. And at the end, he'll give you the email address. You need to follow instructions correctly. And but I'd like to see you on Ken's live stream starting at 9 Central Time. In his time zone, it's 10 o'clock, so he's an hour ahead of me. But yeah, I'd like to see you there. And I'm glad that you're here on my channel, but go and watch his too. Go watch mine in the afternoon, then watch him at night. How about that for a deal? Watch me in the afternoon, watch Ken at night. Yeah, that works. Yeah, 9 o'clock Central. I think Ken is Eastern time, I think. Or whatever. Any which way, and however it works out. Just get a hold of Ken in tonight's live stream. Starting at 9 Central time. 10 o'clock Eastern, I think. or however it works. And ask them about it. Don't ask me. I can't keep that shit straight. I'm not good at figuring out time zones. Even if you told me it's gonna go one ear and right out the other, I just can't. I can't retain that kind of information. But the point is, you watch me in the afternoon, you watch him at night. Yeah, get 2 for 1 in one day. Don't watch Ken watch. Don't watch Ken play Fortnite. Hey, Chris. They went through the security check to obtain the email, never got generated. What? You lost me on that one. Never got generated. The troll used to tell Josh that. Yeah. Speaking of that son of a gun, where is he? Josh, is today one of the days Josh has to work? I can't remember the days he works. I'll have to write that down. Problem is, I'll write it down, then I'll forget the piece of paper that I wrote it down on, and then I'll be asking again, what days does he work? I thought you wrote it down. Well, I did, but the piece of paper is around here somewhere. I think he works on Thursdays and Fridays or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he's still in his bad mood, just doesn't want to talk to anybody, but I'm kind of wondering where he went today. So, Joshy Poo, if you're out there, hope you're having a good day. Hope you're doing all right, and hope I see you on my live streams again, because I don't know where you disappeared to. That maybe you'll come back. I hope you do. Ouch. Yeah, I've got laundry to do one of these days too, and that's the other thing my mom called about. She says, "Do you have laundry you got to do one of these days?" Yeah, I've had laundry I've needed to do for the last week, and I'm not gonna try picking that 20-pound bag of laundry up. Say no, don't. Have somebody else do it. Yeah, getting help around here. Yeah, yeah, right. Which I will eventually. I'll just ask my neighbor. She said if I need help, just knock on her door and she'll help me. But I think she's at work right now, so. He is off Tuesdays and Thursdays and the weekend. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to remember that, but yeah, thank you, Chris. Tuesdays and Thursdays, so being that today is Tuesday. Hmm. No Joshy today. Oh well, maybe he'll come back someday. Double trouble if you watch both streams. Yeah, you can watch 2 streams and we'll really get you confused. But generally, it's pretty good. I don't think we throw anybody into the weeds too deep, but I'd like to start showing you guys stuff on my computer screen. So when I go to a website, you guys will be able to see it. But And I do have a browser down here, but when I tried doing that, it no browser thing showed up. So I don't know. That's the other thing we got to work on someday. Not today, but someday I need to get that worked out because there's some things I'd like to do to show you guys. Get on to Google Maps Street View. And I'll show you the entire town that I used to live in up north. And I'll show you out where I used to live. But I tried doing that the other day, and I just turned on the browser, and I said, I wonder if that'll work. No, it didn't work. But then somehow, that's why I needed Ken's help the other day, because I had a browser that was turned on with its sound on. Even when I turned off OBS, I'll still hear Carrie's live stream in the background. It's like, how the hell is that happening when you have OBS turned off, but it's still coming? Like, what the hell? Well, that's because I needed to go to interact and turn his volume off, and now that he's showing me that, I'll remember it. But next thing we need to work on is getting the browser thing to work. Because, like I said, I got a bunch of things in my head I like to do, but I can't show you because you guys won't see it. My browser thing's just all kind of janked. Quit. Oh, John, you're funny. Yeah, head stash. The best thing to do is just copy the email that's on his live stream. That's the best thing I can suggest. You just copy and paste it. Because some people are confusing the O's for zeros, and those are zeros, not O's. So if you just copy and paste it, do it that way, you'll get it right the first time. But if you try typing it out, more than likely you might get it wrong. So just copy and paste it. It's the quickest thing to do. Truth or what? Haha. Be careful what you wish. Oh my god, you guys. Hey, Tony. Oh, oh. 0022. Oh, come on, guys. You're gonna get head stash all confused. Don't be throwing out a bunch of numbers. Small, low, capital. Oh my god, you guys. You're gonna have head stash's head spinning here in a minute. But head stash, I hope these guys aren't confusing you too much. It's not that difficult. The easiest thing I can suggest is just copy and paste his email. That's the best thing I can suggest, because what these guys are doing is just, you're going to get lost. So just go find his email, copy and paste it. Do it that way. Or copy and paste what Ken put in chat. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, don't be thinking I'm gonna do that point system. It ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I'm not that generous. I'm nice and generous, but I don't go that far. I'm not gonna do what everybody else is doing. I'm not a copycat kind of person. Ken and Doug do the points thing. I don't care to get involved, and I'm not gonna do the speaker bot. No. I've thought about doing that. No, I'm not even gonna attempt doing that because it'll never work. I feel like I'm actually seeing actual school buses now. Well, we should in this area because it is 10 after 11 after 11. School just got out. The bell probably just rang, and all the school buses are all parked out there. You know, our school started today. No, stream elements. No, I don't do stream elements either. That's just stuff I don't want to get involved in. What I'm doing now is confusing enough for me. I don't need to complicate things. I've got what I've got going and it's working, and I'm just going to keep it at the elementary level. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. We're just not going to do anything that's going to complicate things because it gets too complicated and I can't figure it out. I'll just walk away from it. And I don't want to do that. So the easier it is, the better. And what I've got now works. So why complicate it? I've seen other people play with Stream Elements and SpeakerBot and Speaker whatever or Nightbot or whatever. And I'm just shaking my head saying, no, I'm not going to play with it. Yep, same here, John. School started today. Well, John, you live in Wisconsin, so we're Wisconsin and Minnesota, I think, are on the same schedule. They start the day after Labor Day. Let me squeeze. I'm going to go into overtime a little bit. Not by much, but a little bit. As long as you guys keep talking, I'm not going to walk away, but if it goes dead in chat, then I'm just going to shut it down. But as long as you guys are talking, I'll keep it going. Yeah, and I've also thought about getting a stream deck or whatever that thing is called. I've thought about it, and then I think, no, no, I'm not even gonna do that. That'll cause me to be going outside and cracking my head against a brick wall. No, stream decks look easy to use, but to set them up, I don't think so. I've seen other people do it, and it's like, yeah, it's good that you can do that. I'd have it all messed up. And someone would have to come and straighten it out, and they'd get all pissed off. It's like, what the hell did you do to it? Well, I tried copying what that guy did. Who? Him. What'd he do? He did what I'm trying to do. And what'd he do? It's like, I don't know what he did, so that's why most people just tell me to leave it alone. If you don't know how to use it, don't use it. And Stream Decks, no. That is not going to happen. Oh, you're going to New York City, Charlie? I'll have fun in New York. Then you'll be back tonight, boy. But you must not live too far from where you're going. But you're taking an airplane to New York, and then you're flying back. Is that how that's working? Because you said you'll see us tonight, so I'm assuming you're coming back the same day, or you're staying in New York and catching the stream in New York. I don't know. Anyhow, have fun, Charlie. About to graduate soon. If he's just graduating now, there's something clearly wrong. Oh my goodness. Never stop getting educated is always keep you. Well, yeah, that's true. Even at my age, rickety as I'm getting, I'm still learning. I just have a very, very serious learning curve, learning disability, because like I said, I'm a guy that failed special ed. And they just let me graduate with no grades because they just wanted me out of there because they weren't wanting to deal with me for another year. They said, we're just going to get you out of here and pretend you never existed. We're going to go on with life. So they did. I graduated. And technically, I shouldn't have. But they just wanted me out of there. Said, just get out of here. Just go. Get. So they let me graduate, even though I probably shouldn't have. They just didn't want to deal with me anymore. Not that I was causing problems or anything. I wasn't, I was a good student, but to get me to learn something, you got to do it all completely different than the normal mainstream people. You just can't teach it to me like you do everybody else because I won't catch on to it, especially when it comes to numbers. Me and numbers don't get along. But anything else like on Zoom or on OBS, as long as long as I see the person doing what they want me to do, then I can retain it in my head a little bit better. But if they just talk about it and not be seeing it, it's gonna go one ear and right out the other. It's like, yeah, what did you say 5 minutes ago? I just told you. It was like I can't remember. But if I see it and hear it, it registers in my head a little easier. It doesn't stay there, but at least it registers in my head as being something that I could do, and now I just have to fight with trying to remember it. But if I see and hear it at the same time, I'll learn a lot quicker. But if I just hear it, that won't work. That won't work. And see, in high school, they had problems doing that because they don't necessarily teach that way. They just throw you a book and they tell you read it and then do the answers. And I don't work that way. I can't work that way. I try to read the questions at the end of the chapter, and that never worked for me. And it frustrated the hell out of teachers. They could not understand why I could not get it. Said, why can't you get this? This is very easy. That question is to this paragraph here. Why can't you reread the paragraph and then answer the questions? Because it doesn't work that way with me. What do you mean it doesn't work? Then my parents tried to explain it to him, and that didn't go over very well. So they knew I had problems, but they weren't going to fight with me for the next 2 or 3 years, so they just let me graduate. And the principal said they're going to let me graduate, even though they really probably shouldn't have. And I said, yeah, that's because I have to be taught differently than everybody else in the United States. I have to see what you're talking about. I have to see you do it a couple of times. And then I might remember it, but if I just have to read it, that ain't going to work. Reading and then try to repeat what I'm reading on a book. Well, here's the other thing. Here's a perfect example. I got a book here, and it is a bicycle repair book. Now, the one thing this book has is pictures. See, I can show that picture and then read the paragraph below it. I can usually sometimes retain what it says, but I usually have to go back to the book and read it again because I won't remember it. But a paragraph with pictures, I can usually understand it. But a paragraph with no pictures, no. I'll put the book aside and say I can't do this, and that just furiated. That just pissed them off. They did not understand why I was doing that, and my parents didn't exactly either at first until I told them. And then I showed them. I said, I'll tell you why I'm having problems. You show me a paragraph with a problem where I'm supposed to figure out the problem in the paragraph with no pictures or no nothing. My brain can't register that. It looks at it, it's like, yeah, I can kind of see where the problem, I just can't work it out. But if they have a paragraph with pictures showing this is what you're supposed to do, and then they show the picture pointing at step one, and then they point to what you're supposed to do, I can do that. But if it's just a paragraph with no pictures, no. I am much better off watching somebody do something a couple of times and them explaining it. I'll catch on a lot quicker rather than just somebody talking about it and me not seeing it. That won't work. My brain doesn't work that way. I was watching a YouTube channel on the person building a tower PC. Only used a cordless drill driver. I usually only use a drill driver to install fans on the case. Yeah, there's a word of caution about that. I do the same thing. I only put fans in with this, and I take fans out. But I don't do it with putting the motherboard screws in. Because even with this thing, why, that's still charged after a month. Amazing. Um, that's why on that one case down there, I've got a stripped out standoff because I tightened one of the screws with this, and I went a little bit too far to snap the standoff loose, and now it's just spinning. So don't use these on the motherboard, but for fans and other things, yeah, they work beautifully. Motherboard screws, not so much. You'll easily snap one of them off. Or strip it like I did. Two wrongs don't make one right. Okay. Alrighty. What the hell was that? Um, yeah, I usually use a regular screwdriver for motherboard screws and a couple other things, but the um, the fan screws, they seem to be pretty durable. So I just take my electric screwdriver and do it that way, but not with the motherboard screws. I've learned the hard way on that one. Which, by the way, I need to say a little thank you for Tony for sending me that. For sending me this little thing. This is how I get that standoff. This is how I hold the standoff. And I take the screw and I loosen it or tighten it. I get a hold of the standoff with this. Then I tighten the screw or loosen it. So I need to someday figure out how I'm gonna. Yeah, right back to where it was. um, yeah, I need to figure that out. Do something with it. It's the 5000D case. So I was just kind of surprised you know, kind of surprised I did that. I didn't think I did because I was going little by little. I just kept turning it in little by little. I'd stop and I thought I hadn't gone too far until I heard a snap. Like, uh-oh. Then I turned the screwdriver and the standoff and the screw were turning at the same time. Son of a bitch. God dang it. It doesn't take much to strip those things. They're very, very, very fragile, and the threads are very, very thin. It's soft metal, so you'll snap those things right off. And I knew that after I looked at it and I saw the standoff and the screw turning, thinking, oh, son of a bitch. It's only one screw I did it to, so the other 8 screws will hold the board in, but I've got that one that's stripped, and I was trying to be careful. I was just going little by little, and then all of a sudden I heard a snap, and I don't tell me, and I turned it on, and I saw the standoff and the screw turning, like, oh. So, oh, how long before I can resume normal lifting? Probably at the end of this month. Probably, well, around the second week. The end of this week will be the 3rd. Probably about the time that I go down to the cities on the 22nd, or 23rd. Because I leave here on the 22nd, go down to my mom's. Then her and I go down to the Twin Cities on the 23rd. And my appointment's at 1 o'clock. So keep that in your schedule books, guys. I will not be here. I would not be here on the 22nd, 23rd, and I doubt the 24th, because every time I try to get my mom get me back here before 2 o'clock, it's usually a quarter to or 10 to 2. And if I'm cutting it that close, I'll say I'll do it tomorrow. So probably the 24th. No, 22nd, 23rd is my appointment. Come back on the 23rd, 24th, 25th. But I'll remind you guys later. I don't need to tell you about that now. But on the 22nd, I am leaving. And I've got the paperwork for it here. I'll tell you the name of it here in a second. I just saw it last night. I was looking through all my papers. Well, maybe I can't. Oh, I know where it's at. It's on the. Okay, it's not on paper. It's online. I have to get it. The epidural injection shot, which is not really painful. Most people won't do it because they think it's painful. You feel a little bit of a burning to get the numbing medication in there, but that's it hurts for a half second or two, and then it's over with. So after that, I don't feel anything. But most people won't do it because they're not aware of the fact that you get numbed before they put that injection in. Most people just say, no, 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 I won't do that. That's too painful. You get numbed before they do that. Oh, do you? Say, yeah, I've done it 5 times. Oh, well, then, okay. Then I've got this one lady that needs to have that done. I finally got her convinced to get the epidural shots because she needs it. She wasn't going to do it because she thought it was just going to hurt too much. I said, no, you get numbed before that. And you really don't feel the numbing shot. It's just a little bit of a poke for a half second, and after that, you don't feel anything. She's like, well, it doesn't sound so bad. So she called her doctor, and I guess he's going to make an appointment for her down in the cities. I'm not sure if it's the same place I'm going, because I didn't ask her, but she said she's not having it done here in Brainerd. I had one shot done here in Brainerd. I'm not doing it again. I don't know what that doctor did, but it didn't work, so about 6, 7 months later, the doctor in the cities had to do it over. He said, I don't know what that guy up there did, but he screwed it up, so here, I'm going to do it over again, and you should feel a little bit better. So yeah, I'm saying probably another 2 weeks. Just with, like I said, when I go down to the cities, I should be able to lay on my belly by then. And I probably won't be able to lift anything over like 10, 20 pounds. So I had a weight limit before then, so I just can't do any lifting right now, like picking up my bag of clothes to do laundry. I can't do that. I'll have to have one of my neighbors come over and do it for me. Which they're willing to do. I just gotta knock on the door and said, can I use your help for a second? I hate asking for help like that, but they did offer, so maybe one of these days I'll take them up on that offer and have them carry my clothes downstairs. And oh. Yeah, somebody gave me the number to YouTube. Yeah, I don't quite think that's their number, but yeah. My name is Jenny. I got someone mad the other day because I listened to 80s music. I had my music up here the other day and I had it on kind of loud. I didn't think it would bother anybody. And then I caught up with somebody that was waiting for the elevator. I said, "Was that you listening to that 80s trash?" I looked at him and said, "What do you mean 80s trash? Well, I listen to 90s and 2000s music. I don't listen to the 80s crap." "Well, that's you, it's not me. I grew up in the 80s." He said, "Oh, God, I feel sorry for you." "What's wrong with the 80s?" Oh, Jesus. I didn't want to get into the argument, so I just shut my mouth. I didn't want to go any further with him. For him, for some reason, he didn't like the 80s. He said, the 80s music was pretty good, It's like, well, he said it was average. Like, no, it was better than average. I like the 80s music. That's what I listen to today. In fact, my friend Jackie, I got a hold of her phone and she asked me to play some music, play something she hadn't heard before. So I was playing the 70s and 80s, and she took the phone and said, "Yeah, we're not going to listen to this 80s crap." And she turned it on to this new age crap of today's music. And I said, "You call that music?" "Well, yeah, that's what I listen to." So her and I are kind of at opposites of what we listen to. She doesn't like my music, and I don't like hers. Yeah, 70s and 80s. That's what I listen to. Late 70s, 80s. I don't listen to the 60s. And anything after, oh, I don't know, 2000, 2001. And that to me, the music just kind of went downhill. It just didn't make any sense to me anymore. New alternative music, like what the hell's that? Hip hop, rap music, what the? No. I listen to Laura Branigan and yeah, those kind of people. Music I can sing along with and I know the words too. I can't do that to today's music. And some of the music I can, if I've listened to the song 1,000 times, I can sing a few words to the song. But all the '80s songs, I can sing. I can sing every single word to those songs. But today's music, that's where kind of me and Jackie are at odds. She said, "You need to get used to this new age and drop that '80s crap." I was like, why? Well, because it doesn't make any sense. Well, you did listen to the '80s because you're not really older than I am. No, I'm younger than you. Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess I can see why she listens to what she listens to. She never grew up in the '80s. I don't think. I don't know, but I was listening to it at her house, and she reached for her phone. She said, "No, we're not going to listen to the '80s crap." And she turned it off, and then turned on to what she listens to. Like, what kind of garbage is that? She rolled her eyes up at me, and she said, "It's not garbage." I rolled my eyes down at her, and I said, "Yes, it is." And then Brett looked at it and said, "Both of you two, stop." So we stopped because we would have gotten into an argument. And that's when Brett, her husband, stopped us. She looked at it and said, "Both of you, stop." Okay. So we didn't discuss it any further. She doesn't like it, and I don't know why. I don't know why people are so prejudiced over the '80s music, '70s and '80s, and some of the '90s. She doesn't like it, and I think that's because of her kids. Her kids are like 11 and 12, so they're used to listening to today's music, and that's what her kids listen to. So that's what she listens to because she said, "Well, this is what my daughter listens to." Her daughter is only like I think 10 years old, and she listens to the weirdest music. I can't understand the music. And I asked her, I said, "What is this garbage you're listening to?" "Well, it's music." "It's not music to me. I don't know what you're listening to." She looked at me and said, "What do you listen to?" '80s music? She stuck her tongue out at me. She doesn't like it. She says, "Yeah, I've heard that '80s crap." Like, '80s crap? What are you talking? And then I said, "Okay, never mind." I just walked away. That's not disco. Yeah, that disco music, that was pretty good too. I listened to a little bit of that. You know what, guys? I think I've said enough. I've gone on long enough. I'm starting to get a little tired. Need to go out and get some fresh air. So I think I'm gonna shut it down for today. Um, I do thank all of you for being here. I really do appreciate it. It's better than me sitting here talking to myself, which I don't like doing. So I am very thankful that you people are here every day, and you're always waiting for me to come back. You know, I thank you for waiting until I got the surgery and stuff over with. And I'm glad a lot of you came back. I was kind of wondering. I was thinking, yeah, if I take a one or two, well, I took more than a day or two break. I didn't think it'd go on that long, but I'm glad all of you came back, and I hope a lot of you stick around. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go, guys. Hope you all have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. I don't know what we'll talk about yet, but yeah, we'll figure that out later. Until then, guys, catch you later. Have a good day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now. Okay, stop.